perfectly, as we do have the Kraken impact coming down from Terra, but Lyte getting a huge pick onto Lyte. Keep in mind, we still have the passage reset for Lyte, but Lyte closing and doing what he does best as that Starlord, self-proclaimed best in the world, picking on Terra. Now Harvey, and it's looking like they'll be able to clean this up. We might get a last-minute straight portal, but overtime,
Sparky trying to do some damage to Gomez. Down goes Gomez early. The jump. Right back at him as Lyte takes out two. A FlyQuest as they are trying to deal some serious damage. Right there, the dunk finds one as Hawk goes down. Collude goes down. Lyte back on that Wolverine. A terrifying force as the entirety of the Sentinels is going to reset.
In order to game the matchmaker, there's like a couple of things that you can do to maximize your wins. The first thing you need to do is you just repeat this process until your win streak kicks. So if you're playing to get better, you're going to go into the grinder queue. And if you go into the grinder queue, you're going to do what I do.
Lyte is the hero, pretty much acing everyone else.
Joining me today, we have one of the best Duelist players in Rivals. Lyte, welcome, man.
Thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate the kind words.
Absolutely, absolutely. Lyte, I just kind of want to sort of get into your history to start this off. Did you have any history in Overwatch at all?
Yeah, I did actually. I started playing Overwatch like on release when I was 16, and then I mean it's like a really long story, but essentially I went to collegiate for Maryville, won some national championships. I played in contenders, and then I went to coach ISU, which is basically like the whole, if anybody's familiar with Overwatch, is like the core of GK minus Ultraviolet, has Luke Mino instead. And we literally didn't lose a single tournament throughout our entire tenure before ISU laid us off. So.
Wow. Why did they lay you guys off?
Let's just say financial mismanagement.
Tough, man.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on that.
Staircases.
Yeah. Well, congrats on like not losing a tournament though while you're doing that.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I wanted to ask you that is because I feel like Rivals is very similar to Overwatch, you know, in a sense. It's a hero shooter.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wanted to know why you kind of transferred from Overwatch to Rivals and what you like so much more about Rivals than Overwatch, if you do.
Yeah, of course. So, like, the problem, like, I have a video on my YouTube channel that is like 200,000 views. It was like my first, like, sit down and edited myself video where I basically just, like, cry about 5v5 for 14, 15 minutes. And it essentially just boils down to that, is I just think 5v5 is terrible. And I think that I just kind of got burned too much over time. Like they lied about PvP. They left us in a drought of 3 years with no new content to work on Overwatch 2 just to cancel the whole point of Overwatch 2 in the first place. The balance patches were horrendous. The balance patches were slow. You know, they let a cat do their hero pick system, like their hero ban system back in like 2020 or whatever it was. I have like a video on it. But literally like Zoe's cat, and no hate to Zoe, but Zoe's fucking cat would pick out the heroes that are banned for each week instead of just giving it to the players. And there's like so many reasons like that. Yeah, I swear to God, I'm not even kidding. I have like a full video on it. Like it's crazy. That and like the role queue as well, like 5v5 role queue just killed the game for me. And now that they're doing bans and map selection and it seems like they're making reasonable changes. Like I definitely think it's re-entering its golden stage, while like Rivals is kind of plummeting for a bunch of reasons that I'm sure that we'll talk about. But like, I still just can't play the game. Like it's just so bad.
Yeah, no, I get that. That is, I'm gonna link that video. I'm also gonna watch that video too because I'm very confused at that cap
here. I will. I'll link you both of them. There's one that's about 5v5, and then there's one that's about open queue.
And I'm sure we'll watch those later on too.
Yeah.
And so do you think Rivals is doing sort of like a lot of those updates and all that kind of stuff better? Do you think it's like managing their game better, managing the league better?
I mean, Rivals has its own separate issues. I think that like it's really interesting because Overwatch and NetEase are both doing a great job in every aspect of the game except for the balance. The balance, and I'm not familiar with Overwatch anymore. Like I haven't played the game at all in the past like 5 months, and I haven't kept up with the game at all in like the past 2 months. So I don't know like how good the balance is right now, but historically speaking, the balance has always been the biggest issue with the game, other than like the 5v5 role lock. But like the art team, the cinematics, the skins, you know, like the voice acting, just everything else is incredible and like best in the industry. It's just the balance, and it's the same thing for Marvel.
So like the core like art design, all that kind of stuff is the best, and the same thing for Rivals. What do you think is so bad about the balance for Rivals?
I mean,
Yeah, I've seen
Like-
some of your clips. Don't worry. I've seen like
Yeah.
the Venom clip and stuff. Like, get this character out of the game.
yeah. Oh, which one? Oh, yeah, the Emma, the 700 HP in like a second and a half. I mean, bro, like, just watch like any of my clips on Twitter or like any of my videos. It's just like, where do I even start with the balance of this game? It's so bad. Like I just released a video where I go over the patch notes with one of my teammates Zelos, and then before that I released a video where I go over the dev blog. And in both cases, like I just can't believe my eyes. Like we're nerfing Iron Man and Mr. Fantastic, and not nerfing Mag. We're buffing Hela, nerfing Spider-Man, doing meaningless changes like the torch change. If you do the math, it's like a 3% decrease in damage. Like he was already pick or ban in pro play. I know his pick rate was like really low, but like the character's obviously overtuned, and they just nerf him by like 2 or 3%. Like okay, inconsequential. I mean, just every single change, damn near in that patch is horrible. And that's after how bad the 2.5 patch was too.
Yeah, dude, I did not like the 2.5 patch. In fact,
So bad.
okay, this might be a hot take, but I kind of thought the game was at its best for at 1.5.
Yeah, 100%. I hardly
really
agree.
think that?
I think
go.
like season 0. I think season 0 was my favorite season. Like season 0, season 1. Yeah, like the support, like Loki, Luna, triple support, just 36 seconds of tranks whenever you put it with Mantis as well. Like I remember my team, like FlyQuest was the first team to start playing triple support. Swear to God, we have the VODs. Coach Yoki can show you. But we started playing Luna, Loki, Mantis, Groot, Mag, Moon Knight. We played that like every map. And what would happen is because Moon Knight is fucking dog shit, I would die all the time. But by the time that I would get back, like my team would trank, and by the time that I would get back, my team would still be tranking. Like it wouldn't even matter if I died.
And so you guys just like discovered that in scrims one day. You're
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, this is so broken.
Yeah,
Let's
this is
just, like-
broken. Yeah.
So what do you think? Like, what do you think needs to be nerfed on that angle to the point where it's not, completely broken, but it's not like completely out of play either? Do you think they need to nerf trank duration, or like maybe just?
Yeah. Luna's needs to be like 8 seconds, like 10 seconds max, absolute max, but probably 8 seconds is healthier. I think she should be able to be CC immune, or CC. Like you should be able to CC her. She's so fast, and it's the only trank in the game. Like it's 12 seconds. It has the most healing. It has a 40% damage boost. She can't be CC'd. She gets 500 health instantly on the cast. Like surely she doesn't need all of these things together. Like you can nerf any of that shit.
Yeah. So kind of make her a little bit like Mantis in that sense, because
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm a strategist. Listen, I'm a strategist main. All right, I main strategist, and I kind of like agree with you. I think Luna has been too broken for too long. I just think her ult lasts way too long.
Yeah, and then when you pair that with Loki, it's just 24 seconds. Like there's so many times where I'm just playing a melee hero or like any character, and the Luna starts striking, and then I hear your powers are mine, and then I just sit there. Like I literally will sit here and just do this, and I'll just wait. Like I've done this multiple times on my stream where I'll just sit back with my hands off the keyboard and I just wait.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Like it's so boring.
Well, so one of the things too, I guess like one of the arguments I do against that is that if healer ults or tranks weren't really a thing in Rivals, I feel like DPS would kind of just run the game with their ults because they're really, really good.
100%.
So like, do you think there needs to be a nerf on that angle as well if they do nerf the tranks in the game?
No. Like the healing and the tranks, like I think Mantis and Sue have like the standard issue of like what a defensive ultimate should be, because you can kill through them with good focus fire, and like you can ult the, like if I'm playing Wolf for example, I can orientate myself to ult the Sue and push her out of her ult and then kill her. Or if I'm playing Strange, I can time my ult or time my Strange ult, or I can ask my Mag for bubble or any type of assistance so I don't get CC'd out of it, to ult the Mantis and then kill her. Or ult anybody in it and then kill them, because with the right focus fire you can kill through it. But Luna's is just so overtuned that you cannot kill it through it. Unless you have like Scarlet, Iron Man, or like a Groot grab or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's also... I also hate Loki because he can just turn into another Luna, and I feel like he just gets his ult so fast too, right?
Yeah,
like
this dog shit meaningless patch where they nerfed it from like 4K to 4300. Yeah, Loki's dead. Like, like what? Like what is the point?
Yeah, that character's been good since season 0.
Yeah, he's just been broken since season 0. It's just him and Luna, just perma.
Yep. No, I agree with you on the Sue part though, because I feel like her ult kind of takes skill. Like if you think about Luna's ult, it doesn't really take skill besides timing it when you need to time it to counter, say, DPS ults or keep you and your teammates alive. But like when you look at Invis ult, it's static. So you have to place it in a certain space, and your team has to play in that certain space.
Yeah.
So it takes more skill to do.
Yeah.
What about Vanguards? Do you think that they kind of like need a nerf? Besides of course like Venom, and maybe Emma or something like that. Do you think Vanguards are in a good spot, or do you think they're overtuned?
Yeah, Venom is completely fine.
Okay.
It's Emma, Mag that are broken, like completely broken. Like Mag's right click is like unreal. It is so broken. He's supposed to be like a super defensive, just static tank, right? Like kind of like Sigma. Except the problem is that like Sigma's Rock has a wind up, so it tells you when you're about to take a big bunch of damage and you could dodge it. Mag's is instant, so if you get anywhere close to him, like if I'm playing Spider-Man and I'm hitting a Mag, he just right clicks me and I die. And I can't dodge it because the hitbox is so massive, and the damage is like absurd, and it pushes me back. So it cancels all dashes, all swings, all everything. It just cancels it and eats your momentum. And it's so frustrating how much damage that character has, like how much burst damage. They could literally remove the right click and he would still be good.
Yeah, I mean he has a mixture, like you said, of all that damage, but also defensive tools too, right? Being able to bubble your supports when they get gone on.
Infinite shield too. Yeah. His ult's countering like every ult in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, his ult's so good. Like you said, it counters everything, right? It counters like Starlord. It counters like pretty much most DPS ults, and then it just one shots healers out of their ults too.
Yep.
So yeah. Okay, so one thing I wanted to get into was Duelist and kind of just getting better at that role. Obviously, as I opened up with, you're widely considered to be probably one of the best duelists in the game. And so I want to kind of take me down this road. I want to start sort of from the beginning of your duelist career. Did you always play Duelist, or did you sort of adopt the role later on?
So I was actually like a penny one trick of the alpha. I don't know why. I literally don't know why. That character just like was really fun to me for some reason. And I swapped from DPS to tank in Overwatch 2 because in Overwatch 2 they just ruined it. Like I just didn't like how DPS played, and all of my characters that I liked playing were horrible. And they moved Doom, which was my favorite hero, to a tank. So like I just started playing tank. So I thought coming to this game, like okay, I'll try playing tank in this game, but I just didn't really like nothing felt natural to me in the same way that it did with other characters like Strange, Mag, Groot. Like they all just felt horrible and clunky, and like I just didn't like it. But Penny, I guess I just liked her mobility or something. I don't know. But then when I tried Spider-Man, I was like, okay, well like I'm just never playing like any other character, or not character, but any other role again. Like Spider-Man is a character that I've never played a hero shooter, any shooter for that matter, that has transferable skills than Spider-Man. Like maybe fighting games where like you have the option select of like you throw out like a mid. I don't know if anybody's familiar with fighting games that are watching, but like you throw out a mid, and so the mid will jail into like an overhead or a low, and it's a 50-50, and you have to decide like which one of the attacks that you want to do, or can you commit to it, like how long can you stay in, like all that different type of stuff is stuff that you have to think about on Spider-Man. But that's like literally it that I could think of that transfers.
So I guess like it was that mobility that you liked about Spider-Man, because I guess Penny sort of has a little bit of that too, right? With the webs and stuff like that. And that's why you were kind of tricking her at first.
Yeah. I think so. And Venom wasn't in the game at this point.
Yeah, it's funny because I often like, at least when I play games and I try to, because I've hit Eternity and Rivals. When I try to play games at the get-go, I just kind of start with one character. I abuse one character, and I feel like it allows you to learn the game more when you're just using one character.
Does.
Yeah, because you get to like learn about your surroundings and learn about how the gameplay actually flows, rather than learning and trying to understand other characters' kits all the time.
Yeah, 100%.
Did you do the same thing in Overwatch as well?
Yeah. I one-trick Tracer in the beta, and then when the game came out, I mostly played Genji.
Yeah, Genji was really fun.
Yeah, Genji was fire. When he had like the ledge dash, I don't know if you remember all the way back, but he had like the bug with the ledge dash, and he had 8-second Dragon Blade and triple jump and like all of that stuff, and then they just kept gutting like all the tech. Like I hate when developers take mechanically complicated characters that like people discover like bugs that are hard to execute, or like animation cancels or stuff like that, and they remove them. It's so dumb.
Yeah, I think it's mostly for the casual base, but I still hate that. I hate that a lot.
The casual bases can't even do it, so why does it matter?
That's true. Yeah. I used to play a game called Smite. I still played a little bit, and I noticed that they were just nerfing a lot of characters that took a lot of skill, but it's because like the casual base couldn't really play them that much, and they wanted the casual base to play them more, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I never think dumbing the game down is a good idea, unless it's like really bad. Like MOBAs, I think, have the problem of where you have 500 different characters, and MOBAs are so complicated, and you have all the items, and you have to learn what every character does. Like that's a little much, but like for each character specifically, if it's a complicated character, that's fine. I think it's okay to have those because they're rewarding.
Yeah, no, I get that. So one thing I've noticed is that you tend to have more of an aggressive playstyle from what I've seen, right? You've played, like you said, a lot of Spider-Man. I've seen you on the Wolf a lot, Starlord as well. Would you say that you're just a more aggressive player? Like, do you not like the Hellas and all those kinds of characters that sit back as much?
No, I hate playing Counter-Strike. That game's horrible. Yeah. Like, if I want to go play Counter-Strike, I go play Counter-Strike.
No, I get that. So why do you like that playstyle so much?
Because it's kind of like a meme, but like seriously, like in these games, like Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, Battlefield, like if I wanted to play any shooter, I would just go play one of those shooters and just shoot each other and like all the guns are just like slightly different variations of each other. But in Rivals or like Overwatch, like this is an opportunity to play something different and unique, and playing characters that are hyper mobile have always just been something that I enjoy because like the freedom of movement, the skill expression with not just like your mechanics but also how you move, like the times that you go in, executing your combos, like all that different type of stuff is just really appealing to me. But the design philosophy in this game with range characters is very questionable, to be generous, because you have characters like Hela and Hawkeye and Black Widow who are snipers but also beat the melee heroes in close range. So like if I am playing Black Panther into Black Widow, I don't have a gun, so I have to go in and do something, or my team will lose the game over time naturally, because it's 6v5. But if I try to go do something and I try to dive the character that has the range advantage over mine, he kicks me, stuns me, and kills me. So like what am I supposed to do as the Panther if she beats me at every range? You can't do anything. Like you literally can't. That's the problem. Like, I just think it's a matter of time before people realize how broken Widow is. And people are starting to accept that Hela's broken. Like, the Hela players will always say she's not broken, and the tank players will always say that she's not broken. But anyone who plays any characters that I play, like Spider-Man, Wolf, Starlord, Panther, like Iron Fist, like any of those characters understands how broken Hela is. And Psylocke. Like, Psylocke is similar.
Yeah. No, I've never been a fan of Widow or Hawkeye at all. I gotta say too, I feel like having, and that kind of goes back to the balance that we were talking about earlier, right? But I have to say, like the fundamentals of Hawkeye in particular, him being able to one-shot headshot you, to me that like doesn't make any sense. I feel like whenever you one-shot a character, it should kind of be reserved for an ultimate, right? Like a Magneto ult or like whatever the case, because like I feel like you should have to use something to get reward, right? It's like a trade-off effect.
Exactly. And there's zero risk in playing these hit scan characters. You just sit at the back of the map and hang out. Like you can sit there and have a 30% accuracy and still win, but if I miss one dash on Panther, I die and I'm throwing the fight.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's.
Do you think that Spark Chief and Vez sort of enable you to play that more aggressive playstyle?
It's definitely like a whole team thing, and it kind of just depends because we have 3 DPS players. Our playstyle changes depending on who's playing, and usually like because of the nature of my hero pool, we do tend to play faster paced, more aggressive comps when I'm in. But like that doesn't mean that we can't do that with Audios and Energy as well, because Energy can play Wolf and Psylocke as well.
So when you first started playing, was it easy for you to sort of like climb to Eternity and One Above All?
Yeah, it was, because I played it in the entire alpha. And then I played on the beta, and I competed on the beta, and we got second in the beta tournament. And then after that, we kind of just stayed as a team. And then we got invited to the first MRI, the Season 0 one, and then we got invited to the second one, the Season 1 one as well. And we got second in both of those. What is it? I think it's Jason. I don't know anything about basketball, but I was told recently that Jason Tatum is like the king of second place. So it might as well just be like Jason Tatum of fucking Marvel, because I just always get second. Or like Chris Paul or something. Like, I don't know.
No, bro, trust. You're gonna graduate. You're gonna get first sometime.
Yeah, just to see a silver, I guess. But yeah. So because I had competed and I'd already been scrimming and stuff like that, especially when the game first came out, like I was already like really far ahead of everybody else. And I think that still is like the case right now. Like a lot of The tier 1 players are players who were playing in the beta. There are definitely like a lot of players who have started playing since the game released and they're as good as they are now and like have like competitive backgrounds. But I know FlyQuests in particular, like the core roster of me, Zelos, Audios, and Spark Chief, we've all been on the team since beta. So
How'd you guys form in the first place?
it was funny. So Zelos has been my friend for a couple years, and then he asked me to play on a team in the beta, and I was like, or he asked me to play on a team in the alpha, I think, but then I was like, nah, I'm just gonna play Penny, bro, and I don't want to like ruin anything like that. So, but when the beta came around, he asked me, I was like, all right, because I didn't mind like playing other characters at that point. And then I remember like we were trying to figure out who else to get, and we got Audios because he was also our friend. And then we just needed 3 more players, and we were looking at the leaderboards. And then we got Spark Chief to play Rocket originally because Zealous was a tank player, and Spark Chief was just rank 3, one-tricking Rocket, just because he's a god at Rocket. And then it ended up being the case where Hulk was like really, really strong because he had the team up with Strange and Iron Man that hadn't been nerfed.
Yeah.
And then Zealous was horrible at Strange. He was dog shit. Like he was so bad, or not Strange, at Hulk. He was so bad at Hulk, we swapped him and Spark Chief. Like they role swapped because we needed a Hulk player and Spark could do it and Zealous couldn't. So that's basically how that happened. And then after that, we just needed 2 support players, I think. Oh, sorry. Before Spark Chief came in, we had 2 support players that just decided to just ghost us like 3 days before the tournament happened. Like they just went to go scrim tier 3 Overwatch. Awesome. Enjoy, guys. So then we had to like scramble and find anybody. We found Spark, and then we found this guy Devin, who is one of my friends as well.
Okay. And so obviously Spark.
And then we got the last guy. Sorry to cut you off, but the last guy was Clone Man, who I also knew from Overwatch. And I ran into him in a ranked game and just asked him to join our team, and then that was like the core of our roster for a while.
Dude, when Spark Chief switched over to Hulk and all that, were you guys just like, holy crap, this guy can play tank, and like he just stuck on tank, he just liked it so much more than support?
I mean, he just doesn't really mind. I think he said it like, guys, I think in a second life I'd be a support player, but he just plays everything that isn't DPS really, except for like magic. But his magic is horrible.
Is it? Oh, it's that bad.
No, his magic is horrible. He's sitting here saying the magic is broken. Watch Lyte, I'll show you. Blah blah blah. But like, it's just rage bait. Like.
So okay, so obviously you played like since the beta, since the alpha, and that's obviously how you were so good coming into the main game, and then hitting Eternity, and one above all and whatnot. What are other players doing wrong? Ones that can't sort of reach those higher ranks, and also what do you consider like a high rank? Do you think like Celestial is a high rank, or do you think Grandmaster? No, so just like Eternity and up.
Yeah, I mean I don't even think like the rank system in this game is so terrible. I actually think the rank system is the #1 issue with this game. Balance is #2.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, if you sit down and play ranked 3 days in a row, play 10 games a day, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about with this matchmaker. Like, you just know that you just have games that are not winnable.
Yeah, like you win like 8 in a row too, and then you lose like 9 or 10 in a row.
Exactly.
And that kind of shit. Yeah.
It's just horrible. It's horrible. It is literally like I could talk about it for hours, but the engagement optimized matchmaker is terrible and needs to be reworked or reverted. Like it is just horrible, and it is ruining the game. Like it is single-handedly ruining the game. And the bad balance is just the cherry on top. But if they fix those 2 things, this game would like be twice the size it is right now. But I would say like, I guess objectively speaking, Celestial would be high rank. In my opinion, I think that like the #1 thing that people don't have and like why they are and lower elos. Or like the difference between a Celestial player and an Eternity player, and a one above all player, and then a one above all player and the tier 1 player is just discipline. Like there's so many things that I see that I just can't imagine. Like it's just such common sense to me that people do that like I just can't even imagine like how like I'm not naming names, but this is just the most recent thing that I saw. I was on a game on Spider Islands, and they have a Spider-Man one trick. This kid's 10 years old, like literally 10 years old. Shout out Goosey Jr. Okay. I'm not even kidding. He's actually 10. Just cyberbullying my backline, right? So, third point, there's like the window, like the giant circle that Spider-Mans will sit at and look for grabs off the map.
Yeah,
so my team has gotten grabbed off the map like 3, 4, 5 different times, whatever. My cloak ults, like on the cart because the cart is at the ramp. She ults, and then on her last dash, she ults to the coast towards the Spider-Man, and then gets grabbed off again, like for the second or third time. And I watched it too because I was dead. I watched it in the kill cam, watched her do this, and I just could not believe my eyes. And there's so many things like that happen that why you lose your games.
Yeah, you're just like, it's unwinnable right
Like
here.
there's nothing complicated about it. Like just don't dash to the ledge where the Spider-Man has been trying to hook you off the entire game. Don't pick Wolf and like solo tank Emma triple flyers, you know?
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
Like picking the right character matters too. Like if you're not a god at it, of course.
Do you ever pick to counter pick in your games, in your ranked games?
All the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or are you just kind of like doing your own thing? Like for example, if Torch is like just Omega busted S tier, are you just sticking on Torch even if, you could pick to counter pick the enemy?
Yeah, it kind of depends on the day. Some days I'm just like, I'm putting the mask on today and I'm saving New York. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then I play 2 games and I'm permaban the rest of the stream. Like this stream, I think I played. How many games did I play? Let me check my record. Okay, I went 6-3. So 9 games. And Spider-Man got banned like 7 of them. Like
That's
I just
insane.
like all good. You know, like I get to play it like once or twice, and then it's just permaban. And then even when I dodge, I'll get it for 1 game, and then it's back to being permaban.
Yeah.
So I end up having to flex around it anyways. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so obviously, like Rivals is a super team-based game, and I think that's where the matchmaking struggles a little bit because when you pin up 6 different players on a team and every single role relies off different roles, and you even have one guy that's just not playing well, you're going to struggle, right? If you're not getting, even if you're popping off in DPS, if you're not getting healed, it doesn't matter. If your tanks aren't making space in the front line, it's not going to matter. So like what can you say to players that are like struggling? I know obviously a lot of things are out of their hands, but of course like the same players time and time again, such as yourself and such as other pro players, will get up to the highest ranks, right? So there is some sort of skill expression there to be able to do that. It's not just completely luck. So what would you say to players struggling and trying to get up there? Like what are some tips I guess that you can give from a DPS perspective, from a duelist perspective?
Well, there's a couple of things. It depends if you're playing to win or if you're playing to get better.
Okay. So what if you're playing to get better?
So if you're playing to get better, you're going to go into the grinder queue. And if you go into the grinder queue, you're going to do what I do, and you're going to drop like 100 plus games a week, and you're going to stay roughly the same rank. Maybe you'll climb like a little bit. I think it's a little bit different for me because at the upper echelons of tiers, like everyone is roughly around the same skill level. And then it becomes more of the matchmaker and who you get on your team more so than your individual skill because the margin gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, right? Like I can go down into a Celestial lobby and just drop 50 kills on Black Panther, like slouched in my chair. But if I try to do the same thing in like a one above all lobby, like the skill, like even if I'm like 5% better than everyone else in the lobby, it's not enough for the discrepancy to change the matchmaker. So the matchmaker is a much bigger deal for me than it is for other people. So if I'm like a diamond player, if I am 15-20% better and I play 100 games, I will climb. Like 100% you'll climb. And then even in this game, like the rank is like inflated. Like you have people who are 45% win rates who are in Celestial Plus. Like just play the game.
Okay. Yeah. And are there like specific characters maybe that will get you better faster than other characters? I guess if you're trying to target, say, aim, for example.
Yeah. Well, it depends on like the type of characters that you like to play because their skills are different for each hero. Like Hela, Black Widow, Punisher, Hawkeye, like all of these characters have transferable skills because they're standard. I like to call them rangers, where they just sit at the back of the map and they shoot you. There's nothing special. Like they'll have different guns and different abilities, different ults or whatever, but fundamentally you were sitting with your team shooting. Sometimes you can flank on Hela or whatever, right? But like it's fundamentally the same. But there's no character like Spider-Man. There's no character like Panther. You might have the transferable skills of like going in at the right time. But that's like about it. Like they play completely differently because Spider-Man is so mobile and Panther's mobility is tied to like his marks and stuff like that. So
what if you're playing to essentially climb and not necessarily get better?
So that's when you abuse the broken matchmaker. I had a viewer of mine, she watched there's a presentation that NetEase gave to their shareholders about their matchmaker and like EOMM. Like it is a fact in the game. Like it's not up for debate. It's not a myth. It is a part of the game. And so part of that in order to game the matchmaker is there's like a couple of things that you can do to maximize your wins. And the first thing you need to do is you need to never flex, because the game always tries to put you in a perfect 2-2-2 lineup, but the matchmaker can't tell what role that you main if you are constantly flexing all the time. So if I play Strange, Rocket, Punisher, and I have about even time on all of them, I will constantly get thrown into the games of, like, if I want to play DPS or if I mostly like playing Punisher, it's going to put me into the games where it thinks I'm a tank player, and then we have triple DPS or triple support, or we have one support player or something like that, right? So if nobody flexed, every game would just be 2-2-2.
So, and this is kind of funny. There's like some sort of restraint, some sort of discipline there, because if your tank is playing like dog shit and you're a duelist or a strategist main, you're saying don't flex don't take over that guy's role.
No, don't do that. No. Because it's going to hurt you in the long term. It's going to ruin your match quality. And the second thing you do is if you lose more than, I think 3 is the max, but usually 2 is safe. If you lose more than 2 games in a row, get off for 8 hours. It has to be 8.
8 hours?
It has to be 8, because the game is trying to keep you engaged and keep you playing. And if it detects that you are no longer playing the game, it's going to turn your turn rate to a positive win rate. It's going to literally put you in games that are unlosable. And you just repeat this process until your win streak kicks in. You get on, you play until you lose 2, you get off for 8 hours. And if you want to keep playing, get another account. Like, this is what you do if you want to win. If you don't care and you want to go through the grind, EOMM, just lose at like 50 games, win 60 games, go for it. You can do that. But this is how you game the system.
How to game the system from Lyte.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
It's just a fact. It's just a fact.
That's insane. I never thought about it like that. So I had like this rule I called the Dashboarrd rule, where it's like I play and then if I lose 2, I get off. But like I don't get off for 8 hours. I maybe get off for 30 minutes or an hour, come back and then try again.
Yeah, no, it's not enough time.
Damn, 8 hours.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because they want to keep you on the game, and if you're off the game for too long, the signal gets flagged and it's like, oh shit, like this player isn't, like, they're not coming back. Because the longer I think the thought process is the longer that you're playing, the higher chance you are to buy skins. And there are theories that if you buy skins that you'll start winning more. I don't know like if that's factual or not, but I do know like the 222 thing is real. The getting off for 8 hours real. Sometimes what it will do as well is if you like if I main Spider-Man, for example, and it wants me to lose, it will put me against Namor Hulk, like people who have a high pick rate of Namor Hulk, like in their matches played. Or if I'm playing Hela, they'll put me against like Cap Psylocke players or Venom players or something like that.
That's what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
Do you think that they'll actually end up changing that over time, especially if players like get wind of this and just start abusing it?
I mean, people already know that like it's a thing just because the match quality is so terrible. But I don't think people understand like the depth of how like the matchmaker works, because like nobody has sat through that, and I wouldn't know about it because I'm not gonna sit through some presentation for shareholders for 2 hours, you know? Like, God bless the viewer that did this, but like, no, that's just how it works.
Yeah, and so do you think like they'll change it at all or no? Like in the future?
I heard rumors from Artie, who is the I was on Vaudible's podcast, Rivals and Rants, like 2 days ago, and we were talking about the matchmaker, and I was complaining about it, and Artie said that in Season 3.5 that they're going to make some changes to the matchmaker, so hopefully they do. I really, really hope they do, because they definitely feel the pressure of the game in decline. I think that's why they made the decision to go to one hero every month. But I really, really hope that they start to understand that the matchmaker and the matchmaker quality is terrible. It needs to be addressed. And then after that, it needs to be the balance. Like, Ziyong needs to fucking lock in, because the balance every single patch for the past 3 patches has just been worse and worse and worse.
On the decline, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you think losing of the player base is a little bit blown out of proportion, though? And the only reason why I asked that is because I feel like whenever a game first comes out, because Rivals has been out for, what, like 7 months or so officially, around there. So like whenever a game like really first comes out, it's going to have a high influx of players at the very beginning, and of course over the next several months you're going to drop players because people might want to go to other games.
Yeah, of course. The honeymoon phase is definitely real, but I don't think it's at like the degree of what it would be if the game was actually like, if the matchmaker was good, if the balance was good, if all these concerns had been addressed more quickly, and they like listened to their high level community. Like, because people say, well, this is a casual game and shit like that, but I just hate that argument so much because they're literally dumping millions of dollars into their esport. Like it is not just a casual game.
I don't think that this is a casual game by any means. Personally, I only play Rivals to play ranked. And low key, like this is kind of a theory of mine, but I feel like they want everybody to play ranked to a certain extent because, and I'm not sure if it's still like this at the lower ranks, but the lower ranks kind of feel more like casuals. And then I think once you hit Diamond, that's when picks and bans start. So like prior to Diamond, you don't have picks and bans.
I think they moved it to gold actually.
Oh, did they move it to gold?
I think so.
Okay. So
someone in chat can tell me, but I think so.
Yeah, maybe somebody can confirm that. But like, so I had like a theory of them wanting to move all the players to sort of like ranked and just have like the bottom portion ranked more like the casual scene, and then they kind of ease you into ranked in sort of one playlist.
Yeah, no, one of the so it does. People just confirm that bans start in gold. The dumbest shit I think I've ever seen in any competitive video game is this Chrono-Shield bullshit that they have going on. Like, if you guys don't know this, okay, because you've never been in gold, you get these fucking tickets. They are literally free passes. I'm not kidding. If you lose a game, you can redeem this ticket to not lose elo. Like, how can we be more like piss baby friendly to the community to get people to play ranked? Like, you just negate your loss. Like, what? That's horrible.
And they still get the loss safeguards too, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, that's just horrible. Like, I know it's for gold only. But like, that is just ridiculous. That should never be in any competitive mode.
Oh, 100%. This kind of just further confirms like my idea that they just want that to be sort of like casuals easing into ranked.
Yeah, I think that's the idea, but that's just still terrible.
Oh,
because
it's
what
horrible.
the problem is that people who use these resources, and I'm sure that you can pay for them. I've never checked. I'm like you. I literally only play ranked. People come into my stream and complain about like the little icons and the arrows that are all over the screen for like all the new shit that you get. It's everywhere. I don't click on it. I don't care. I will look at a skin for a character that I like if it comes out or if I see it on Twitter or something like that. But other than that, I don't care about all these bells and whistles. I get the battle pass and that's it.
Yep.
I don't care about these challenges. I don't care about these bonus modes. I don't care about Doom Match, Quick Play. I don't care about any of that shit. Or like the TFT mode. I don't even know how to access it. I've never even thought about looking at it.
Dude, Lyte, I've made this joke like a million times. I've said like if everybody thought the way I did when it came to games, all these companies would go broke. Because maybe I get like one skin and that's it. I just play.
Maybe they shouldn't charge fucking $20 for them. Maybe I'd get it.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah,
100%.
maybe. No, but like, I don't know.
So I want to kind of go back a little bit to before I guess we kind of got sidetracked. It was a good sidetrack for sure. I want to go back a little bit talking about getting better as a player. Do you think that stress plays a role into getting better as a player? Like, when you're stressed out, when you're, say like teammates are yelling at you to get better, or any of those kinds of things, do you think that it in turn allows you to get better quicker or just better in general?
What do you mean when teammates are yelling at you?
Like, for example, I'm not sure, obviously, the team environment for FlyQuest, but, are you guys more, like, cool, calm, and collected when it comes to a team-based environment? Or, like, when shit's going down, there's a lot of, like, things getting thrown out everywhere if somebody fucks up. Like, maybe they hear about it, right? It's like, yo, you fucked up on this, and this. Like, you got to get better at this. It creates stress onto the player a little bit.
No, we don't really have a call-out culture at FlyQuest.
Okay.
We kind of like leave that to the staff. Like occasionally, like you'll ask like, why didn't you do this or that or whatever, but it's not like you fucked up. Like this was horrible. You did like that's just not really our teamwork. Our team is like very momentum based, and I think part of our off season right now is trying to buckle down and figure out how to play at our best all the time, because we definitely are like very, very inconsistent.
Mm-hmm. Why do you guys think you're inconsistent?
We're just an emotional team.
Yeah.
It's just all it is. Like, it's just the people on the team. That's how it is. It's nobody's fault in particular. It's just we just have a group of 6 like passionate people who care a lot, and we just like we just need to buckle down and get our mental straight and be more consistent, and then we'll be the best team. I think we demonstrated that too. Like we 3-0'd Envy, we 3-1'd Envy, 3-0'd 100 Thieves. Our scrim results are really, really good. Like, I think we've shown everybody that we can do it, but we just have to buckle down.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to actually ask you guys about was that if I go here real quick, like you guys, when you guys got knocked into the losers bracket for group stages, you guys lost 2-0 to Ego Death, and then you guys got knocked down. But then you guys just absolutely owned the lower bracket, and then obviously 3-0 100 Thieves in the grand finals. Like, what happened? Like, how did you guys just lock in right there?
And it's just like conversations of like how badly like we just wanted to win, and we just didn't play to our level because we underestimated our opponents. And we just got like tilted for no reason because we just like thought we should never lose, and we did lose map 1. And that's just how it happens. Like sometimes that's just how it goes. And we always play down to the level of our opponents, and then we play up to the level of our opponents. And what we need to do is just always play at the same level all the time, no matter what the opponent is. And that's like what a big focus is in the off season right now.
So maybe that's why you guys are like a little bit inconsistent, and like have to go up on that.
For sure.
Okay, so one thing I actually want to do, let me see if I can share the screen with you real quick. There's like a couple clips. I just want to see if you could like break down the clips a little bit. There's of you in, I believe it was, what tournament was this? It was the
Ignite, or not Ignite, the Invitational.
Yeah, I believe this was the Invitational 2025.
Yeah.
Okay, let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I remember this, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this real quick and then go from there.
These responded absolutely perfectly, as we do have the Kraken impact coming down from Terra, but Lyte getting a huge pick onto Lyte. Keep in mind, we still have the passage reset for Lyte, but Lyte closing and doing what he does best as that Starlord, self-proclaimed best in the world, taking out Terra. Now Harvey, and it's looking like they'll be able to clean this up. We might get a last-minute strain portal, but overtime ticking.
First of all, I love that calm, self-proclaimed best in the world.
Yeah, because
yeah.
I said that like at the before that game that I was the best Starlord in the world.
Yeah, I mean you were proving
that's
it
why
right
I said
there.
that. Yeah.
100%.
100 Thieves doesn't like me because I said that. They still to this day they don't like me, but that's fine. Like they can do what they want. I don't really care. And
Just
I still
all
think
fun
that,
and
by the way. Like I don't know what it is about Starlord, but like that character just clicks with my brain so much.
What's the ratio between Starlord and Spider-Man? Is it like a close gap? Or is it like a far gap, or is it like close between your favorite and your second favorite?
I mean, my favorite hero is Spider-Man for sure, and Spider-Man's like probably my most played. No. Star-Lord's my most played just because how much I played it in scrims, but like ranked wise, Spider-Man's probably my favorite, and most played. But as far as like, I think there's a lot more competition in Spider-Man than Star-Lord because there's like no Star-Lord one tricks like at all. Like Brooks is the only one I could think of, and yeah, I don't know. We were making like a tier list yesterday with like all the players and like who me and the people in my chat thought were like the best players in every role from just like pro players in NA. And when we got to Starlord, like I don't think that anybody is at the same level that I am at this character. Like I think Gomez is good. I think Nectar is good. I think I'd have to like pull up the list off the top of my head. BGS is pretty good.
Yeah,
like,
but you're just beyond them.
Yeah. I just think I'm in like a different league.
So okay, so like kind of going back to this clip, how are you sort of like playing Starlord in these games? Like what are you thinking about when you're going in? Here are you sort of like waiting for the ult to end and then you're gonna rip your Starlord ult? Do you want to be like super aggressive with him? Like what do you think makes you get a Hexa in this clip essentially?
Well, I just know that Delena is going to run back to his team here because so what happened in the fight before this is we were 1v1ing by the Mega, and I won the 1v1 essentially, so he runs away. But I just know that he's going to run like that way instead of like trying to bait me out, like because I lose LOS of him. So if he just doesn't fly across here, I don't kill him, and he could go back and get the Mega or like get the Mega under. But I just know he's going to go for this play, so he does it, and then I kill him, and then after that, I just know that they don't have support ults after that because we're tracking. And then you see that they made the mistake of stacking lamps, which I noticed right there. If you go back.
Oh, let me go back here.
Like I saw right here when I entered, like before I ulted. It's like 2 seconds or 3 seconds before this.
What's that? Oh wait, let me go back even more. Here we go.
Yeah. Like here, here, I saw the
Yeah.
lamp. Yeah, I saw the lamp at the bottom right of my screen, and I know this thing was going to end. Otherwise, I would have waited a little bit longer, and I would have waited for Spark to charge into, and then we would have went so he can beat like, because the thing's like Haymaker thing breaks lamps, so I would have waited for him to be in range in order to like help me with that. It also marks Loki when he's stealthing too, so I can like target him. But I saw that they burned lamps right there, so.
Okay. And so, like, obviously all that information said, okay, this is pretty much a free ult. I'm going to get a free ult here and kill everybody. And then, of course, from here, you're just allowed to be aggressive because you guys are hard winning the fight.
Yeah, yeah.
So what are some, like, sort of, like, components? What are some aspects that allow you to play Starlord aggressive? Is it a mag bubble? Like, taking a mag bubble when you go in?
So this variation, there's like a bunch of variations of Guardians, but in this variation we have Mag and Thing, so that just means that I'm just like a superhero the entire game because I have the Mag Bubble, I have the Thing DR, I have Atom Packs, I have the Sue Shield, I have, I guess I already said the Thing DR, but yeah, like I just have so many resources that I can layer on top of each other, and if we layer them correctly, I'm just immortal. Oh, the Atom team up as well. Like...
The res, yeah.
Yeah, having all these parts together with Starlord are what allow him to actually be a good character, because if you remove all these things away from him, he's like really bad. He's actually a terrible hero.
So he's horrible by himself. Like he needs a team around him.
Yeah, he needs a team around him, and then he becomes Thanos. But without that, he's just like dominated by Psylocke, dominated by Hela, dominated by Namor. Mag gives him a hard time because you just ult his ult every single time. Bucky gives him a hard time. Like his matchup spread is so bad.
And so, like, whenever you guys are looking to draft a Starlord, it's just all about like, okay, what can we do to kind of help the Starlord go in? How can we enable him to kind of play his best? That kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Are there any maps that you just would not play Starlord on at all?
No. If I have the right comp built around it, I'll always pick it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Any point, any map.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then I think like here you just end up cleaning everybody up. So this is kind of just obvious, something to talk about. Another one I want to go over was the Wolverine clip. Did this switch for you? See this one? Okay, so I'm gonna play this real quick.
Well-placed ultimate, as we do see that early. Cracking impact goes up too. Does land on a few. Nobody falls just yet as the reset does go through on a clone though. Sparky trying to do some damage to Gomez. Down goes Gomez early. The jump. Right back at him as Lyte takes out two.
Yeah, classic. Just a classic Lyte Wolverine ult in overtime.
And Zelos on the
like it's actually a meme in our team. Just every time in overtime, I just get like a fat ult.
Dude, I saw so many fat. I was like, oh, I could clip this, clip this, clip this. Like there's just so many fat ults.
Yeah.
I mean, there's another one I kind of want you to break down a little bit. So, like, what's going through your head? Are you waiting, or I guess you ulted while the Sue ult was going off? Are you looking to ult people out of the Sue ult?
Yeah.
Is that what you're looking for every time?
I'm just waiting for the Sue to troll the game and to like reveal herself to me.
Okay.
Whenever I have ult, and then I will just like ult him every single time without failure. I just get 100 rage, and then I just start like looking around, looking for this guy. Even if I see him outside of the ult, I will like use my Feral Leap and then ult to like I'll use Feral Leap and then I'll ult before he gets the push off because you're CC immune in the ult. And then that also like pops him up so he can't do anything, and then you just one shot him.
Are you always looking to mark that Sue ult, or if an opportunity
Always.
presents itself,
No,
like
always,
prior to
always,
that?
Always.
Okay.
Like if I can get like a fat ult, like I will look for it, but I will never do it into their team if they have Sue ult most of the time. I will like I'll grab like a Groot or a Strange and I'll solo ult them back into our team if they have Sue ult.
Mm-hmm. What about like are you looking to pick that character around a team, or is a team looking to, I guess, sorry, let me rephrase this question. Is it kind of like Starlord where
No.
Okay, so you can kind of play him
different.
by himself.
Yeah, so Wolv is a character, so like I guess they're both heroes that you build a team around. Actually, Adam is the character that you build the team around. Wolv is a character that you build a team around as well. So the only reason you pick Starlord in that instance is because he has the res. And like he's just like a good character when you pocket him. But like you could replace that Sword for Iron Fist, for Wolv, for Torch, for like a couple of different heroes, and it can still work. It's just like the Guardian's res is so strong that typically even if a character in theory is better than Starlord would be there, that res just like puts him over the top to make him better. But like for Wolv is such a strong character that you pick Wolv anytime that he is open if they are not playing like Imma Mag or Thing Mag. If those like two of those three tanks are not being played together, you can always pick Wolv. Like if they're playing Groot, if they're playing Strange, if they're playing like Cap or Venom or Hulk, you can always pick Wolv, and it's just a disgusting hero.
So you said playing together. What if they just have like a Groot and a Mag instead of like Imma Mag?
Yeah, you just go Wolv. You
can just go Wolv that time.
Yeah, just go Wolv. Yeah.
What about like Wolv into Invis woman, right? She pulls you out. Do you care about that at all?
Yeah, it can be really annoying. It's a good invis. If you have a mag though, it doesn't matter. He just bubbles you and
This bubbles and you go in.
yeah, yeah. And most of the time, like if you're playing Wolf into an invis, at least in competitive play, you will have something else in your team that will force the push or the pull. Like you'll play like Capsai Wolf or something like that, or like Torch Wolf or like something with like a dive tank, like Venom or Cap or Hulk or Thing or something. And then when your Wolf goes in, your tank goes in, and then if your Su uses push on the Wolf, it doesn't even matter if the grab gets canceled because the Wolf is probably just going to run forward and slash at the tank anyways, and the supports can't deal with it because they're dealing with your Cap, Venom, Hulk, Thing, whatever it is in their backline as well. So it creates like a lot of chaos.
I can definitely see that. Do you guys have a like kind of going back to the FlyQuest team environment? Do you guys have a set IGL at all for the team?
Yeah,
or...
Spark.
So
Yeah.
Spark. So
Yeah.
you guys are always listening to Spark's call every single time. So if something goes wrong, we can blame Spark.
No, it's always the team's fault. You never
I'm just
blame one
playing this.
person.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
One thing I actually wanted to ask too is obviously we know your favorite heroes from Duelist, but what about from Strategist and Vanguard? Do you have like a favorite character that you like?
Venom for Vanguard. I like Venom and Strange to play. Venom's my favorite, and then Strange is my second. And then I don't play support, so. But if I had to, I'd probably pick like not Loki, not Luna, not Cloak, not Invis, not Rocket. So I guess like Jeff or Adam, I guess.
What about Mantis?
No, not Mantis.
Damn, I would have thought that you would have liked Cloak because I feel like she's aggressive with her ult. And like you like that
Yeah, but
aggressive
like
style.
she's just like I just don't like these. The playstyle of support is just so like not
Boring.
it for me. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't know, just doesn't do it for me.
No, I get it. Everybody has their own styles.
Yeah.
Do you consider a singular team to be your biggest rival in Rivals? Kind of sounds funny.
Not really. Like historically, Sentinels has been,
Mhm.
but we just like never get on the same side of the bracket anymore. So it's like hard to say. I think that's up for like the fans to decide, but we don't really think to ourselves like, oh, this is like a rivalry or anything like that. We just like, are we gonna lose to ourselves today, or are we gonna dominate 3-0 this team? It's like
Yeah.
always the question. Like, yeah. So
Oh, I get that.
I
Well,
guess
how
it's
about-
ourselves.
Yourselves are your biggest rivals? Yeah.
Yeah.
How about for like a singular player? Do you have anybody that you kind of like mark as a rival?
I think probably Terra, yeah, because Terra I think is seen to be the best, probably like the best player in the game. Honestly, I think like a lot of people have that opinion. He's definitely, I think it's like not controversial to say that he's the best player on 100 Thieves, and the reason why like I like try, I don't really want to call it like a rivalry, but like I want to be that kind of person for my team. You know, like I want people to think like, oh, there's just Lyte versus Terra, or like it's Lyte and friends on FlyQuests or whatever. Like I want that type of reputation and that ego or whatever to like, just like give me every resource and I can carry the game. But yeah, I think like we have some overlap in our hero pools, but also like I don't play Hela, he does. He doesn't really play Spider-Man, I do. And there's just like some type of gap, but I don't have like any beef or issue with him.
Yeah. What do you think makes him like the best
We
player in
just
the
play
game?
the same role. I don't know. He just plays really well consistently.
Yeah.
I think we also have a similar playstyle too, where we're both high resource, high performing players. So like for Starlord, for example, like give me everything and I'll carry the game, and then he's the same thing with like Bucky and Wolf and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get that. I like that that you said it was somebody else too, not yourself. I feel like there's a little bit of you're being a little humble there too, you know?
Yeah, no, and it's not like envy or anything, but it's like more like
Respect.
it's like a respect thing. Like this player is better than me at these characters. What does it look like if I could do more?
Yeah, I get that. Lyte, I kind of want to get into your just sort of like your gaming background a little bit. I'm talking about like before Overwatch, before all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When did you start playing video games?
When I was 5.
5.
Remember I played Looney Tunes Back in Action, which was just like a Looney Tunes game or something. I don't even know it. Like I don't remember what it was based off of, if it was based off of like a movie or anything like that, or if it's like its own original game. But I remember there was this wrestling portion, and you had to like press X fast enough to win it, and I could never do that at my age. So I had to ask my mom or grandma to do it every time because I just played the game on repeat constantly.
You're asking your mom or grandma to press X
Yeah.
repeatedly?
Yeah, to press it fast enough because I couldn't do it. It was too hard.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Grandma Lyte, just press an X.
Yeah, no, she's a demon.
And and so like how did that, I guess, transpire to you, like playing more games? You just were really addicted to that and you just kept getting into it?
Yeah, like I wasn't really like the outdoorsy kind of person. Like I don't really like fishing or hunting or camping or anything like that. Or hiking. None of that stuff is like really my thing. I didn't really like any action figures or comics or anything like that. It just kind of like it just transitioned from game to game to game to game to game and that type of thing.
Yeah, the grind.
And
The
then
grind for
yeah,
sure.
I eventually got a PC in 2015.
Did you compete in any game prior to Overwatch? Or was Overwatch
Yeah,
first?
I played a game called Evolve competitively.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that game came out in 2014 or 2015 or something like that. And I was like really, really, really good at that game. But the scene kind of died unfortunately, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, Evolve was fire.
That
I
game
wish they
was
didn't
so
fuck it up.
fun.
Yeah.
Like what happened to that game? Like how'd they screw that? Because like I thought that game was so unique, right? Like there's no other game like that.
I mean, still to this day, like it has like a loyal fan base of people that play it. Yeah, I think they just messed up with the microtransactions, where they were like charging people like 10 bucks or something to like change something blue or whatever. And then it also like was not very new player friendly because what would happen is you would have hunters who would load up on the map and they would just follow the monster's tracks in a straight line and never catch them. So it just dissolved into a running simulator and then you would just get wiped at stage 3 because you had no damage on the monster. But like no one really sat down and understood the depth of the game, and that like you had to do splits where like before stage 2, which was like they tried to revive the game and they called it Evolve Stage 2 and changed a bunch of mechanics or whatever. But in the OG game, the Trapper was the only person with the dome, and so you would have like your 3 other guys go and push the monster because eventually you would corner it into a part of the map and the monster can either go left or go right. And if you all commit one way, it just goes the other way and gets away. So you would have your Trapper hang back, and then they would go to whatever side your team tells it like it's going. And then what you would do is if the monster went away from your team and you were the Trapper and you had to fight the monster alone, it became a mind game of, are you going to commit this dome? Because if you commit it and then he downs you, the dome is gone. And then it's on cooldown now for like another minute and a half, and you just threw the game for your team. So like it was just like it was so in depth in the mind games of how the Trapper and the monster interacted with each other, and you had to make sure as the Trapper that when you did dome, it was in an area that you could kite until your team got there, and you could use your slows and all of your harpoons and your resources to stall your life, or you could just like cut the monster off, and like there was just so many different quirky things that you could do, and no one really figured that out. That just sat down and played the game and ran in a straight line and followed its tracks.
Yeah.
But that was like my first introduction to like a team-based shooter, because if your entire team wasn't working together to kill the monster, you just get wiped.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see that. And so that got you hooked into it, and then you're like, okay, what, after that you're just like, what other games are like super team based, and then you got introduced to Overwatch?
Yeah.
Did
I
I
remember
love-
watching I'm a Cutie Pie play Overwatch, and I thought it looked horrible at first, and then I got into the beta and tried it, and the game was fire.
I heard that they had killed their league a little bit with franchising. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
franchising model.
Yeah. Let's just have players travel from like place to place like it's basketball or football. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, $60 million slots and shit, and just I wasn't working in Overwatch League. Like I know Flats has like a lot of horror stories that he can talk about because he actually worked for Boston. I worked for Outlaws for a little bit actually on their sponsorship management stuff, but I didn't really get insights that much because it was like pretty entry level into like all the problems with the league and like how it dealt with its teams and stuff like that. But no, I mean like it was just so bloated, like it was not sustainable.
Yeah.
And especially COVID too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. COVID definitely changed a lot of pretty much a lot of the atmosphere for a lot of different games.
Yeah.
So transitioning back to Rivals, where do you see yourself sort of like in the future of Rivals? Do you see yourself like playing the game like 4 or 5 years from now? You know, if it's like doing good.
I don't know. My main goal right now is to just like grow my stream as much as possible, perform as well as I can, be a good teammate, be a good representative of FlyQuests, and to just like just seize the opportunity because I'm like older for esports. I'm 25, and I think that this is like the last opportunity I'll have to play at a tier 1 level, and so I want to make the most of it while I can, and to just like put everything I have into being successful at Marvel.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I think you chose a great game to do that too. I mean, it's got a massive fan base. Admittedly, it's on the decline a little bit, but hopefully they can stop that.
Yeah, I mean, if Overwatch can come back, anything can come back.
Right, exactly. It's got a massive fan base, and the game literally just came out, all things considered.
Yeah.
So it's got so much time to sort of evolve and just become a great esports.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, Lyte, that's all I got for you today, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, short and sweet. Thank you so much, bro, for hopping on. I appreciate this a lot. I know the times were
yeah, of course. I appreciate you being patient with me.
Oh, of course, man. Listen, it was an absolute pleasure. So thank you, man.